Good afternoon to all. Today we will discuss determination of hardness of the water by EDTA method. Okay. Before going to the experimental explanation, we would like to know what is the hardness of water. The amount of dissolved calcium and magnesium present in the water is known as hardness of water. This is the definition of hardness of water. We are having two types of hardnesses. One is a temporary hardness and the second one is permanent hardness. Due to carbonates, due to bicarbonates, if hardness is coming, that is known as a temporary hardness, or otherwise carbonate hardness also we will name it. The second hardness is permanent hardness due to the presence of calcium, magnesium chlorides and calcium, magnesium sulfates. That is known as permanent hardness. Now, how will you remove this temporary hardness and permanent hardness? For permanent hardness removal, we are going for chemical methods. For temporary hardness removal, we are going simply for boiling. If you boil the water, what will happen? The dissolved calcium bicarbonate and magnesium bicarbonate will give us the carbon dioxide and corresponding calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide. And if you filter the water, we will separate this magnesium hydroxide and calcium carbonate. So we'll get the temporary hardness removed water. Okay. And how will you express the hardness of water? We are going to express the hardness of water by equivalent weight of calcium carbonate. Though it is present in the form of calcium chloride, we are going to express it in the equivalent weight of calcium carbonate. And even calcium sulfate, we are expressing it equivalent weight of with equivalent weight of calcium carbonate. Even magnesium chloride, we will be expressing it with equivalent weight of calcium carbonate. Why we are expressing with equivalent weight of calcium carbonate? The molecular weight is 100. For calculations, it will be very easy. And it is insoluble thing and it will be easily precipitated. These are the three advantages of calcium carbonate. So theoretically, if you want to calculate the hardness of the water, we are using the formula, that is amount of the hardness causing substance and molecular weight of the hardness causing substance into molecular weight of calcium carbonate. Why we are multiplying with molecular weight of calcium carbonate? We have to express our hardness by equivalent weight of calcium carbonate. That's what we are multiplying it with molecular weight of calcium carbonate. And let us see the simple thing. If calcium chloride is there in the water, we have to find out the amount of calcium chloride present in the water. And we know the molecular weight of calcium chloride. If you know these two, and we will be multiplying it with the molecular weight of calcium carbonate, and we will be calculating the hardness of the water. Okay. This is what one method. And the different units for hardness expression. One is ppm, that is parts per million. And one more is milligram per liter. 1 milligram is if we dissolve it in 1 liter of water, that is known as 1 ppm. And the third one is Clarke's degree. It is similar to the ppm. If 70,000 parts, if you are taking, that is 1 Clarke's of degree. And one more unit is degree of French for 10 power 5 parts. For ppm, 10 power 6 parts. Okay, these are the different units for hardness expression. In the present experiment, we are going to find out the total hardness. The hardness which is coming from calcium as well as magnesium. And the one more thing, either it may be a carbonate contribution or non-carbonate contribution. Carbonate contribution is coming from bicarbonates, salts, calcium bicarbonate, magnesium bicarbonate, And the non-carbonate means the
sulfates
and sulfates, calcium chloride and magnesium chloride. That will be a non-carbonate hardness. We are going to determine both the things, that is sum of carbonate hardness and non-carbonate hardness. Determination of total hardness by using the principle, that is by using the EDTA chemical. So what is this EDTA? Ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. And this ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid will form a complex, stable complex with calcium and magnesium at pH 10. This is the basic principle of the present experiment, that is determination of total hardness of water by EDTA. Based on these reactions, we are treating the calcium magnesium with EBT. EBT is areochrome black tea. This is a dye molecule. This dye molecule will form a complex with calcium and magnesium, but it is an unstable complex. If you react this calcium or magnesium EBT with EDTA, what will happen? This EDTA will replace the EBT and we get calcium EDTA complex, because calcium EDTA complex is more stable than calcium EBT complex. And this calcium EBT will be having wine red color and calcium EDTA will be having a steel blue color. Based on this, we are going to find out the total hardness of the water. And if you want to even find out permanent hardness, we have to boil the water and we have to subtract the temporary hardness from total hardness and we will get the permanent hardness. The total hardness is equal to temporary hardness plus permanent hardness. Not a minus here, we have written minus, but it is a plus. Determination of hardness by EDTA method. Aim of the experiment is we have to determine the hardness of the water, given water sample. Materials used for this experiment: EDTA, EBT, buffer, standard calcium solution, water sample, and filter paper, and volumetric flask, conical flask, burette, pipette, Pingani plate, and funnel. All these are the chemicals and glassware we are using in this experiment. The principle of the experiment we know well already, and the procedure for the experiment. Finally, we will be calculating the result and we are writing the result at the end. Aim of the experiment is determination of total hardness of water. Total hardness equal to temporary hardness plus permanent hardness. Before going to do the experiment, it is mandatory to know these laboratory labels which are present on the glassware or even chemical bottles. This is, we know well, radioactive, symbol and flammable gases and oxidizers and poison and irritant. Before going to touch any chemical, we have to see the bottle labels. At present, in our experiment, we are not using any toxic chemicals. Burette, pipette, and volumetric flask, funnel, the RB, we know well. EDTA, ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. This is ethylene diamine. Instead of two hydrogens, two acid molecules are there. That means instead of four hydrogens, we are having tetraacetic acid molecules. That's what it is. Ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. This ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid is a hexadentate ligand. What is meant by this hexadentate ligand? At a time, it can form 6 covalent bonds. That is, 6 bonds can be formed. That means it can donate 12 electrons. What are those active sites, or the sites which are donating those electrons? Let us see. Here one oxygen, here one more oxygen, here one nitrogen, here one nitrogen, here one oxygen, and here one oxygen. Totally 4 oxygens and 2 nitrogens. 6 atoms, all atoms are having electron pairs. Those electron pairs will be donated by this EDTA, and the metal will take those electron pairs and it will form a bond with this EDTA. Our calcium will form a bond with this. That means calcium will form a bond with these, either with these nitrogen atoms or oxygen atoms, which is present in carboxylic acid group, that is OH, not C double bond O. This OH, particularly OH. Here we are having 2 types of oxygens, that is carbonyl oxygen and hydroxyl oxygen. Hydroxyl oxygen can able to donate 2 electrons. This is what about hexadentate ligand. And this EDTA, we are taking 4 grams of EDTA and we are dissolving it in 1 liter of water, and it will give us the EDTA solution. EDTA is a multidentate ligand and it can form 6 bonds with metal ion. And EDTA applications in soaps, detergents, and even in enzymes, if metal ion is there, EDTA will be used. When in medicine, they will be using EDTA as an chelating agent for metals, even toxic metals, and EDTA is the best complexing agent. And for color retention, people use to this EDTA. The preparation of solutions required for the present experiment, that is EDTA solution. We have to dissolve 4 grams of EDTA in 1 liter of water, disodium salt. If you are taking directly acid form, it may not be soluble. That's what we are taking, sodium salt of EDTA, and we are dissolving it in water. Second chemical is standard hard water. What is this standard hard water? So a name itself standard. That means we know the concentration of calcium in the hard water. We are dissolving 1000 milligrams of calcium carbonate in 1 liter of water. Per each ml, 1 milligram of calcium carbonate will be there. This is the standardization. That means we know the concentration of the solution prepared. A calcium carbonate is a primary standard. EDTA is a secondary standard. And we have to standardize the secondary standard with the help of primary standard. Now we are going to use the standard hard water for standardization of EDTA solution. That is the 1 step. And buffer in 2 steps, we are using this buffer solution. It is a combination of ammonium chloride and ammonium hydroxide. pH will be 9.5 to 10 in between. The principle of the experiment is, first EBT will form an unstable complex at 9 to 10 pH, and it will be giving wine-red complex. And for this wine-red complex, if you are adding EDTA, what will happen? EDTA will replace the EBT and we will get the steel blue color. This is what the basic principle of the experiment. Our experimental part can be divided into 2 steps. First step is standardization of EDTA. Second step is determination of total hardness. In standardization of EDTA. What we do? We will take a conical flask and we will pipette the 20 ml of standard hard water. 20 ml of standard hard water we are pipetting. For that standard hard water, we are adding 5 ml of buffer and pinch of EBT. Pinch means just a cluster of particles. A few particles we are adding into the conical flask. We get wine red color solution. Wine red color solution. That means wine red color solution is this pink color. This is calcium EBT. Calcium EBT. For this calcium EBT, we are adding EDTA solution. This EDTA will replace the EBT, and finally we get calcium EDTA, and that calcium EDTA has steel blue color. Okay, calcium EBT wine red and calcium EDTA steel blue color. If you add the EDTA by burette, what color we get? We get steel blue color. This is what the end point. At end point, what will happen? Wine red color will become steel blue color. Wine red color will become steel blue color. During the titration, sometimes people will confuse that, and this middle color is the end point. But it is not the end point. You see, this is the end point. Steel blue color. You see, it is a mixture of these both, wine red as well as blue. This is not the end point. Still wine red color is there in the conical flask. It is not the end point. In second step, we are going to find out the total hardness of water. Instead of standard hard water, we will be using water sample, same 5 ml of buffer and pinch of EBT, same wine red color we will be getting, and at the end, it will become steel blue color. We have to add EDTA solution from the burette. If you add, what will happen? EDTA will replace the EBT and we get finally steel blue color. Okay, these are the two steps. Now, what will be the accuracy and precision of each step? In order to check the accuracy and precision of these two steps, the same experiment will be repeated 3 or 4 or 5 times. That means the same experiment we will be doing minimum 3 to 5 times. If you are doing 3 to 5 times, we will be getting like these values. Let us. We have taken 20 ml of standard hard water in first step. That is, we are writing a table 1 for that. Volume of standard hard water in first step or first experiment, we have taken 20 ml. And burette, we have filled burette with EDTA and we have made 0 ml, exactly lower meniscus we are taking. And at the end, that means wine red is becoming steel blue color. At that point, we have to note down the burette reading. Burette reading is 1.6. Let us. And final minus initial. You see that 20.6 minus 0, we get 20.6. Okay, this is what our value. And second time we are repeating, that is same 20 ml of standard hard water we are taking. And again we are filling the burette for 0 ml and we are getting 20.7. And we are writing the volume of EDTA consumed is 20.7. Third time we are doing, we are getting 20.7. Fourth time we are doing, we are getting 20.7. Fifth time we are getting the 20.7. Now, we have to write concordant value. What is meant by concordant value? We have to find out precise value. Okay, precise is any scientific measurement should have 2 characteristics. Those characteristics are accuracy and second one is precision. Accurate Our value should be accurate. Our value should be precise. That means if you are doing repeatedly, you should get the same value. Okay, and it should be accurate. Accuracy means we should be near to the true value or original value. Okay, original value will be provided by an expert. Expert will be doing, and original value will be provided by an expert. And simply you take one example. Daily you are coming by 8:30 into our online class. Let us exactly 8:30 all of you are coming. You are accurate as well as precise. If you are coming by 8:45, exactly by 8:45, you are not accurate but you are precise. That is the meaning. It is simply chicken. That means in order to check the accuracy and precision, we are repeating our experiment for 3 to 5 times, and within that we should get same value minimum 2 times. Here in present case we got 4 times, and we are considering this value as a concordant value. That means for standardization of EDTA, we are taking which value? We are taking 20.7. In second step, same experiment we are repeating. Instead of standard hard water, we are taking 20 ml of sample hard water. See the difference between this table and this table? Only one word. What is that? Sample hard water and standard hard water. Clearly observe, please. A standard hard water in second step. Here's standard hard water. Previous table and table 2, the difference is only sample hard water. But we will be changing, instead of standard hard water, we are taking water sample 20 ml and same 5 ml buffer we are adding, and same pinch of EBT we are adding. We are getting wine red color and we are titrating, and we are getting steel blue color at the end. First time we are doing at 16.9 ml, wine red color will become steel blue. Okay. Second time we are doing at 16.7 ml, wine red is becoming steel blue. Third, 16.7, fourth, 16.7, fifth, 16.7. We assume that 16.7 is the precise value, and we are considering it as a concordant value. That means we are going to consider this 20.7 for our calculation and 16.7 for our calculation. And the calculation part, from table 1 we are going to standardize the EDTA. From table 2 we are going to find out the total hardness. Prior to that, let us discuss here. You see, this is the water sample. This is, we go to the standard hard water. In the conical flask, we have taken 20 ml of standard hard water. That means this is a standard hard water. We know the concentration. Each ml contains 1 mg. 20 ml means 20 mg. That means we know the volume as well as concentration. We know V1 and N1. In burette, we know only volume at the end point. We are considering here at the end point, V1 we know, N1 we know, V2 we know, M2 or N2 we are going to find out. That is the standardization of EDTA. We will get 1 ml of EDTA is equivalent to how many milligrams of calcium carbonate. That is the first calculation. In second calculation, in second step, we are using water sample We don't know the concentration, but we know the value. That means we know V1, we don't know N1. Here we know V2 as well as N2. We are going to find out N1. Because the EDTA was standardized in first step. That means we know the concentration and we know the volume of EDTA at the end point. At the end point, we know V2 and N2, but we don't know N1. Conical flask, let us assume V1 and N1. We know V1, 20 ml we have taken, water sample, but we don't know the concentration, N1. In burette, we know V2 as well as N2. Where you get this N2? From first table or from first calculation, from table 1 calculation. V2 we know, N2 we know, V1 we know. We are going to calculate N1. This is what the method to calculate the total hardness. The same explanation numerically we can write like this. Standardization of EDTA using standard hard water. 1 ml of standard water contains 1 milligram of calcium carbonate. We have taken 20 ml of standard hard water. It contains 20 milligrams, but 20 ml of standard hard water consumes V1 ml of EDTA. We are writing like a standard thing. 1 ml of EDTA is equivalent to 20 by V1. V1 is from table 1 we get 20 by V1 into is known as the standard value of EDTA. That means standard concentration of EDTA. 1 ml of EDTA is equivalent to 20 by V1 in milligrams of calcium carbonate. This is the first step. In second step, we have to estimate the total hardness. 20 ml of water sample consumes V2 ml of EDTA. Now, we know the concentration of EDTA. What is the concentration of EDTA? 20 by V1. 20 by V1. This term directly we are writing here and we are multiplying it with V2 and we get hardness of 20 ml sample water. We get the hardness of 20 ml standard sample hardness, water sample hardness. Normally, we used to express the hardness of water per liter. We are doing our experiment for 20 ml, but we are writing our answer for 1 liter. How many 20s will be there in 1 liter? There will be 50. We have to multiply the answer with 50 and we get the hardness per liter. That is 1000 ml of water sample contains how much hardness? V2 by V1 into 20 into 50. 20 ml into 50. That is per liter. V2 is where we are getting from V2 from table 2. V1 from table 1. Table 2 value divided by table 1 value into 20 into 50 will give us the hardness. This is what the calculation part for the experiment. Let us consider the same values for table 1 is 20.7, table 2 is 16.7. Table 1 value 20 ml of standard water consumes how many ml? 20.7 ml of EDTA. 1 ml of EDTA is equivalent to, we have to send this 20.7 that side. We have to send this 20.7 left side and we get, and 1 ml of EDTA is equivalent to 20 by 20.7 milligrams of calcium carbonate. Equivalent hardness, okay? And 1 ml of EDTA is equivalent to 0.9661 milligrams of calcium carbonate equivalent hardness, okay? And this value we are using in second step. This value we are using in second step. That means now EDTA was standardized. It is calibrated, like calibrated. In second step, 20 ml of water sample consumes 16.7 ml of EDTA. 1 ml of EDTA is equivalent to this much. Now 16.7 ml. That means 16.7 into 0.9661. If you multiply, and after multiplication, we have to multiply again it with 50. And finally we get 806 ppm. That means 806 milligram per liter. That means the dissolved calcium and magnesium salts are equivalent to this 806 milligrams of calcium carbonate equivalent. This is our final result. So we have to write our result. Total hardness equal to the hardness of the given water sample is 806 ppm. This is the result of the present experiment.